The main principle in the soft Mozart system is the presence of fulcrum, which allows you to successfully and effectively master the musical language. Since we can record music with notes and read it either on an instrument or with a voice, it is, first of all, a language, and only then an art. So, in order to master this language, various points of support were invented by the author of the method. First of all, it is a visual connection of the keys of the instruments with the stave by turning it 90 degrees with the keys up. As a result, the student does not guess, but literally sees where to find the necessary notes on the keyboard of the instrument. The visual fulcrum also includes visual cues in the form of pictures of the musical alphabet. The next fulcrum is the focal line, which unites all the notes that need to be played at the same time. The focus line is a horizontal or vertical yellow line, depending on the vertical or horizontal presentation of the musical notation. All notes that are waiting to be played on the instrument are collected on this line. This line allows the student's attention not to be scattered by many other musical signs, but to concentrate on those that need to be played at a given moment in time. This is important because human vision works pointwise and linearly, and, therefore, is not able to read the entire musical score at the same time. Therefore, for beginners, the focus line simply allows you not to get lost in the musical text. The next point of support is the very interactivity of the soft Mozart program, through which a student receives feedback. Soft Mozart is not just a music library with digitized notes. These are precisely responsive notation that reacts to any action of a student, thereby informing him of the correctness or error of his actions. One of the key principles of the Heiner method, the creator of the soft Mozart system, is the representation of note, sound and duration in a trinity. Thus, the author of the method introduces a new concept, note sound, and a student studying according to the soft Mozart system interacts with musical notation. This allows you to holistically perceive the entire musical system, which includes music staff consisting of treble and bass clefs, piano keyboard and actual sound. All this greatly facilitates the training of a novice student and allows him to directly interact with the musical text, even if it is still adapted, alphabetic. But it is quite understandable and readable. As the perception and attention of the student develops, the presentation of the musical text becomes more complicated. Already in the second and fourth presentations, not the pictures of the musical alphabet, but the lines of the staff and the spaces between them serve as a guide for reading music. Ultimately, the student comes to reading the traditional musical text. As for the issue of piano technique and hand placement, in the soft Mozart system its solution is based on the natural conformity of the student's development. So, at the initial stage of training, the student's attention masters the geography of the keyboard in breadth. Therefore, it is completely meaningless to talk about sound quality or beautiful hands. For a beginner child, this is an impossible task. Only having mastered the keyboard geography, you can redirect the student's attention to the depth of keystroke, immersion, work on quality of sound. If we talk about finger velocity, we use traditional technical exercises, 5 fingers, a non-number 1, chromatic scale, chords and arpeggios. In a word, everything is like in a traditional piano class. The only difference is that a student studying according to the soft Mozart system reads a musical text, which means that learning moves at a faster pace. In conclusion, let's talk about the soft Mozart system in a distance learning format. To this day, among teachers, students and parents there is an ambiguous attitude towards the distance learning in the field of music education. At the same time, someone accepts this format of training, while someone categorically rejects it. And I must say that both are right in their own way. Adherents of the traditional format will tell you that live communication with the teacher, his charisma, his non-verbal impact on the student is indispensable. At the same time, Another category of teachers and students are engaged online, and they find their advantages in this. Of course, distance learning has its pros and cons. If we talk about the minuses, then they are connected, mainly, by establishing communication, which is not always fast and of high quality for transferring music. However, studying using the soft Mozart system, distance learning takes on a completely different form. Since the student spends most of the work directly interacting with the program, the teacher no longer needs to control every movement of the student for 45 to 60 minutes. The duration of an online lesson can be reduced to 30 or even 20 minutes. This is the time at which the teacher can explain new material, outline the main activities in the student's independent work, and set certain goals and objectives for him. As for control, it is more expedient to use video recordings of the performance of the work by the student, as well as a demonstration of the performance by the teacher. In addition, the visual motor delay digital indicators in the soft Mozart program provide an opportunity to see the progress in the development of the student. As you can see, with this approach, distance learning is not at all scary, and can be much more effective than a traditional lesson. However, everything is known in comparison, and nothing prevents you from combining different formats of training in the soft Mozart system. If you are interested in distance learning, we are ready to consider your applications.